My name is James Williams Jr. This is Comfort Habit number 2. If you are under the age of 14 years old, this is not the video for you. I'm going to touch on strong adult content, and the aspects of it is definitely not for children. This is one of the videos that I would insist that if you are a parent, you can watch it. But if you have a child under the age that I just mentioned, please don't allow them to watch it, because this is one of those videos that's on a touchy subject, and I'm going to touch on at least 2 aspects of it. I have deleted the other 2 videos that I had touched on this subject because I didn't word them right, and I was wording them out of pure emotion versus right, wrong, and law parameters. Okay, so first off, this subject is called rape. Something that a child should never have to face, but probably has faced on more occasion than enough. It is hands down global worst crime in the universe. Okay? Now, let us begin. As I make this video, 1 in 25 women are being sexually assaulted as I make this video right now. Someone, did you know? 1 in 25 women, did you know, has been a victim of sexual assault, rape, harassment, or other. And that goes from girls ages 14 and up, which is why I said if you're under 13, or under 14 rather, you should not be watching this video. Because this is content that no child should ever have to face, but will have to face at some point in their lifetime. A child should be able to grow and be a child and have fun and do things that most kids get to do out loud. And here's the harsh reality of that. Even children, as we speak, are also being a victim of rape or sexual molestation or something in that nature. I make these videos because I have nieces and nephews that I would prefer to protect from predators such as online predators, jackasses in the real world as well. And we don't really take the time to sit back in our lives and think about who's being affected out there in the world by crime. Because most of the time when we look at crime on the news, we don't really consider the fact that that could be us. I posted I posted a clip on Facebook earlier this morning before I jumped in the shower about 4 men sexually assaulting a woman. They gang raped her, and you can go to my Facebook page and check that out. And the 5th man did nothing. So we're going to talk on that, but I'm also going to talk on statutory rape and the flip side of that. Because no one who hasn't raped anyone wants to be accused of that shit and have to go through the trials and errors of being proven innocent. Because in America, you are proven guilty until they prove your ass innocent, regardless of the color or your race. But by gender alone, if you're a man and someone accuses you of rape, you're fucked. It's really just that simple. You're fucked. Especially if you didn't do it, and then you're tarnished forever. The Central Park 5, they may have gotten a settlement, but it doesn't change what happened with them losing gay so much of their life, being attacked in prison, being victims of that themselves, at least one of them that I know of. They did a documentary of it. You guys can go find that. The point of the matter is that rape is a horrible, if not the worst, crime in the universe. I bring this up for quite a few reasons, okay? And we as people need to understand this. Circumstances are different when you are the accused versus the victim. Alright? When you're the victim, hands down, you do need to stand up and report it. I know it takes a lot for you to get your shit together and to do that. And if you ask a rape victim, they'll tell you it's not easy to come out. It's not easy to have somebody going downstairs on you to examine you to prove that you have been sexually assaulted. And especially for those women who were virgins and they are raped, and then it just ruins sex for them forever. So if they ever meet a good guy, they're never going to trust another man. And if they're raped by women, they're never going to trust anybody. So we need to think about things like that, because when you think that it can't happen to you is exactly when it does happen to you. And we need to be more vigilant and more aware of, yeah, that shit can happen to anybody. Without a doubt, it can happen to anybody. No. And if that not to you, then somebody did you know. It can happen to them. So don't think for a minute that everyone is immune to this, because no one is immune to this. I'm making this video to make a point. As I have spoken within the last 15 seconds, some woman somewhere in whatever country she's in, may God have mercy on her soul, because she is being sexually assaulted as I make this video. I've done my research, and within every 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes less than that, a woman is being sexually assaulted. So as I make this video, as you're watching this video, someone somewhere is being sexually assaulted. It's not me willing that shit. It's a fucking fact. Circumstances. Let's talk about circumstances. Let's talk about statutory rape. Alright. Statutory rape is child sex with a minor. Alright? It's where a man is dating a woman who's not 18 and he's having sex with her. Now, this is a double-edged sword. Alright? I'm going to explain that, and you guys can take that any way you want, but it is the truth. There are some young ladies out here who have some issues, and we'll go in. I don't know how they are able to, but I guess if the doorman's like me and the woman pops a couple of cleavage tops out, and she's bouncing them things around, man probably don't even check the ID at the door. And they'll get into these 18 and up clubs, and they're like 15 or 16, but their bodies are built like grown-ass women. These young ladies that have some moral issues will go out and find a grown man anywhere between 18 to my age and have sex with them. Either they've been challenged by some of their girlfriends to lose their virginity, or they just really want to lose their virginity, or somehow or another they have decided that they're going to break the law. However, when it comes to the case of statutory rape, the laws and the circumstances of that really work more against the man than the woman that lied about her age. A man who has no knowledge of a young lady and he and her are in a club where he got in, he's 23. He has his ID. He's old enough to drink. He's old enough to be there. And some ladies, 16 and up, get into these clubs. Now, does that make the man any less guilty? No, it really doesn't, because he knows he had to show ID to get in that building. Some women don't show ID when they get into these buildings, which is why I said this is a double-edged sword. And they get in and they mingle with these grown-ass men. These grown-ass men will have sex with them or get in a relationship with them and not know how old the child is until the sex is done. All it takes is for that girl to get mad or her parents to get mad, and that young man, his life is over, because he's going to jail for statutory rape. And if he gets out of that, he still may have to register as a sex offender, and that shouldn't be fair. That should not even be acceptable, because she shouldn't have been in that club. And she should have to pay for that too. You see where I'm going with it being a double-edged sword. And some girls do that. I have known some girls when I was like 14, and they were like 10, and they looked like they were 14. And, I'm like, well, damn, how old is she? I was at a party once when I was a kid with my uncle. I was 14 years old. This girl was every bit of 10 years old. You couldn't tell by looking at her. She had boobs. I've never met a 10-year-old with boobs until that day. And I'm like, she kept eyeballing me and everything. And she might have been mature up here, but her age was definitely not appropriate to be messing with a 14-year-old. And I'm the dumbass fixing, I'm going to go holler at this girl. But my uncle knew her father, and her father kept saying, yeah, my daughter like you, my daughter like you. And I was like, yeah, your daughter's hot, your daughter's cute and everything, but how old is your daughter? When he said 10 years old, I damn near died. I said, your daughter's 10? He said, yeah, how old do you think she was? I said, man, I thought she was my age. She's way too young for me. He's like, how old are you? Man, I'm 14. I can't mess with that. Yeah, it's like, well, why you gotta say it like that? I said, because she's fucking 10. You see where I'm going with that? I could have been fucked out of my life had I went further with that. Now I know you're all thinking, well, she's 10 and you're 14, so that's really not that bad. Yes, it is, because she's nowhere near a teenager, and she's 10. In case you guys didn't catch that, a 14-year-old shouldn't be messing with a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old should be playing with Barbie dolls, nowadays video games, tablets, and shit like that. But she shouldn't be messing with boys. And while we're on that, I'll be the first to tell you, if you do your research, there have been 10-year-old girls who have had babies. And it messed me up because I didn't think a 10-year-old could have a baby. And I've done my research. Yeah, the youngest mother has been between the ages of 8 and 10 years old. And it really blew me away because I was like, that's a thing? Where the hell does this happen? It happens in third world countries. Okay? Don't ask, just Google. It happens in third world countries all the time. Which is the same thing with most of these sexual assaults that I mentioned that's probably happening right now is also happening in third world countries to probably a 10-year-old girl. Now, America, statutory rape, the laws really just favor the woman. Even if the woman is lying about her age, the man still has to pay for it. So he did not rape her. It was consensual, but it was mostly her idea, and he has to pay for it for the rest of his life. Those laws need to be changed. They probably never will. But at that same time, people should tell their kids, look, don't rush to be a grown-up. When rape happens, people open their eyes. Me Too movement was one of those things that kind of launched that into the forefront. Bill Cosby, other actors, Harvey Weinstein, my man Kevin Spacey, who I didn't even think for a New York minute was gay, and not that's here or there, but you know, the whole concept of it working both genders. There are some things that we as Americans, we as humans, need to discuss. We need to sit down and have a damn meeting about it. But at no point in time is rape a good thing. Now, like I said, that statutory thing, that's a whole nother entity to itself. But at the same time, a young woman who lies to a 23-year-old man about her age, knowing that she's like 14, 15, one, shouldn't be in the goddamn club. And yes, fake IDs is a thing, you know, and in the case of statutory, not too many of us men are going to go around and like, hey babe, can I see your ID? Because if your ID doesn't say 1993, you're not legal, you know, and you shouldn't be here. But most of the guys at the club, you're drinking, you're tipsy, you ain't thinking about that chick ID. You're thinking about getting inside that chick's drawers. Later down the road, you're going to regret that decision if she's lied about her age. And the thing about that, if she lied about her age, you're still going to jail. You're still the victim. So ladies, please raise your daughters to be honest and decent women. And gentlemen, please raise your children, your men, to be honest and decent men. Now, if you're a man who only has a daughter, be there for your daughter. Make sure that she knows that she doesn't have to rush off and lose her virginity because her friends are doing it. I don't know if that's a thing with girls. I know it's a thing with guys. Guys quickly try to lose their virginity as soon as they learn what the hell sex is. We can do better. We can do better. We can teach our young men that it's okay to be a virgin until you marry. I can't guarantee that that's going to happen because you can't watch your kids 24 hours a day, and peer pressure makes children do crazy shit. I've never really been a victim of peer pressure because I've never really had a lot of friends outside of comic books. And comic books do not do peer pressure, but they do teach you how to deal with it. As I end this video, I want you guys to remember, by the time I have finished this video, 3 to 5 women have been sexually assaulted and have been raped. We need to sit down with our girls. We need to sit down with our boys. We need to teach them right from wrong. We need to teach them how to respect themselves and other living beings. Our young boys need to learn how to respect a woman's choice. Our young girls need to learn how to respect themselves and not rush off and do shit because their friends are doing it. Play with Barbie. Play with tablets. Read a comic book. Watch cartoons. Go outside and play with anybody. but don't try to grow up too fast. Growing up fast doesn't make you a man or a woman. It just brings you more trouble. I'm James Williams Jr. It's Couple Advocate number 2. Be seeing you.